Hi guys, I'm back with you. I have been checking out making my own crackers, homemade do-it-yourself crackers. And so I thought I would share the process with you because it's really not that difficult. Okay, so I'm going to be making some seed crackers, and I like the seed crackers because they're so nutritious for you, full of antioxidants from the different kinds of seeds and the fiber, of course, and also lots of benefits for your brain. So we're going to get started. These seed crackers actually have pepitas in them. They have sunflower seeds, and they also have, what else is it? Sesame seeds. Yeah, sesame seeds in there. And what I did was I went ahead and I put them all together because you know I'm into blending stuff. I put them all together, and I also put it in my food processor for a minute just to break up and make smaller chunks of the pepitas basically and the sunflower seeds, because when I made some before, I really didn't like the whole seed bit in there. Do you though? If you like it, go ahead and do it. But for me, I just put in the food processor for just a few pulses and stuff and broke it up a little bit more. So I have it all together. These are my pepitas and sunflower seeds and sesame seeds all in there. And then I also blended my spices. And if you're familiar with my meal prep mini course and stuff, I talk a lot about pre-blending things and putting spice blends together. So it just makes it quicker and easier. It's just a time saver. And also, if you're like me and you aren't that spice queen type of person to know what spices to put in there, once you have a recipe with certain spices and you know you're going to use it frequently, you might just go blend it up and put it into a small container, so that when you need it, you can just get it out and get your little teaspoonful of it or whatever and be done. Okay, so I have that in there. We have in here my pepper and my salt. We also have in here my garlic powder and onion powder in there as well. So it's all blended together. Okay, and then they need something to make the seeds glue together, to make a gooey things. And I've been reading about psyllium husk powder and also the chia seeds. This one is calling for the psyllium husk powder, so I ordered some off of Amazon. Okay, so I have psyllium husk powder. And the good thing about it is you don't need very much, and so you don't need very much of it. And so even though the bag is going to cost you, I don't know, I want to say $9 or something, I don't know what it is, but the expiration date on this is like for 2 years. And so it's like you only use like a tablespoon or something at a time. And so it's going to last you for quite a long time. And if I like it, it's going to be very cost effective. Okay, so very simple process. You're just going to put the seeds in the bowl. The seeds go in the bowl. The psyllium husk goes in the bowl. The spices go in the bowl. Okay, and then you're going to take some boiling water. So I'm going to have some boiling water, which I've already boiled, and pour that in there, and you're going to blend that all together. I like this measuring cup. It's glass and it has a handle. I love that. Anyway, so you're going to whisk it together. I'm just going to use my little whisk thing here, and we're going to mix it up. Whisk it together. Hold it with one hand so you guys can see it better. And then you're going to let it just set and kind of gel for a little bit. I think it's like 15 or 20 minutes you're going to let it gel. And then once it gets together, you're going to be putting it in the tray. So I'm just going to set that aside, let that gel up. And then you're using my favorite. I'm coming to love this stuff, guys. My parchment paper, coming to love it. Using it for everything. So you're just going to take out a piece of it and you're going to put it on the tray. And that's where you're going to spread the seed batter on. Once it's gelled for a little bit, we're going to spread that on there and flatten it out. Okay, so that's going to happen in a second. Okay, so I've been letting this sit. Actually, I didn't let it sit for 15 or 20 minutes because it has the psyllium husk in it, and I think that makes it gel faster, because the other recipes we're talking about, you know, flaxseed and chia seeds for the gelling, but I think that's why one of the bakers liked the psyllium husk, because it seemed to gel faster. So I went ahead and I dumped it into the tray. I have my parchment paper over my tray. And then you just blend it. The tedious part, if there's any, is in spreading it thinly on your baking sheet, because you want to get the crackers thin enough so that it's crackery and not really thick. So I'm using the spatula and I am smoothing it onto the tray. And they said, that's why I have my gloves on, because they said that even might even need to use your gloves to get it, because you want it thin and you want it even as possible. So I'm doing a pretty good job, I think, getting it thin. Then I'm going to double check it with my hands so that I can make sure it looks like it's even, but it is looking pretty even, guys. It's like I'm painting. My mom loved to paint, so she had us painting stuff all the time. So, whoops, that's what I feel that I'm more or less doing. I'm just getting that evenly on the parchment paper, thinning it out. As I do more of these, I think I'll get a better feel for how thin is thin. But this seems pretty good to me. Okay, so they said you're gonna bake it like this, and then halfway through the baking time, you're going to use your, if you have a pizza cutter, you know, the roller thing, and you're just gonna go ahead and they call it scoring it to get those lines in it so that after it bakes, it can break apart easily. But if you don't have that, you can use a knife. And if you just don't want to do it at all, if it's okay, you can just, you know, crack it up in whatever pieces it falls into, that's what you're gonna have. Okay, so I think that's good, guys. Yep, that seems pretty even. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven at 350 and it's gonna bake for a while. I'm sure, I think it's at least, no, this says 45 to 55 minutes. You don't want to undercook and you don't want to overcook. If you undercook, it's gonna be too, you know, pliable, too soft and bendy, you know, maybe like a tortilla type of thing. But if you overcook it, it's gonna burn. So about halfway through, you need to score it, look at it, and then, so you have to figure out with your oven exactly what the appropriate time is gonna be. That's the sweet point between not burning it, but cooking it enough so it's crispy. And they say that you're supposed to be able to, the very center of it, you want it to be a little bit pliable because when as it cools off, it's gonna harden up a little bit more. Okay, with the edges to be brown. So we're gonna see how that works, and I'll show you that when we're ready. Okay, here are the seed crackers. I just got them out the oven. They are already sliced. I used my pizza cutter and I sliced them about 15 or 20 minutes into the cooking. I took them out and cut them in sections, and then I finished cooking them. And I think I have them thin enough. Maybe they might be able to get a little bit thinner next time, and hopefully I did not burn them. So that's what that looks like. So as soon as it finishes cooling, I have it on a cooling rack right now, but as soon as it finishes cooling completely, they said I could store it. It's going to keep, you know, for about 1 or 2 weeks in the refrigerator, if it lasts that long. But you can see how I can use it for whatever. I'm going to make a couple of other versions as well, and then tell you which one I like the best. Okay, I thought I'd make some other versions. Here are some other versions so you can kind of see what they look like. This one here is just about the same as the other one, except it's using chia seeds to make the gooey substance instead of the psyllium husk powder. So if you're not into the psyllium husk powder, you can do just about the same thing with chia seeds, although it takes longer to gel. So with this one, with the psyllium husk, I only had to wait about 5 minutes and then I could spread it on the tray. But this one I had to wait at least 20 minutes before I did that, and it was very, very, very wet. And so, but it did dry out just like the other one. So that's an option too. I haven't tasted it yet, so we'll see how it tastes. This one is an onion seed cracker. So this one doesn't have all the nuts. I mean, onion cracker. It doesn't have all the seeds in it, as the other one is just onion powder with some other ingredients. And so it's a different flavor and also a different texture and a different look. It also, I almost burned it, as you can see, as I was cooking it, but it did come out to be a thin cracker as well. So these are other options, and these are in your mini course workbook. The recipes will be there, so you can just try it out and see which one suits you best. So you can look in the workbook and figure out which ones you want to try, or try all of them. I think it is a great option for crackers, something that you can use and dip guacamole or salsa, or as my husband Oliver does, peanut butter, or whatever it is that you want to use it, or just eat it by itself. It's just something to chew on that is healthy and nutritious for you. So hope you give it a try.